Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome to season 2 of Midnight Madness from the creators of Midweek Madness. We officially bring to you once again popular choice by people, Midnight Madness. And tonight, episode 1. All right, I want you guys to ask yourself but complicated question, and it stems from what's holding you back in life, right? That you don't know. And as you guys meditate on that for a couple seconds, I'm going to go ahead and introduce tonight's panel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to just know you're in for a special treat. Look, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start right there in, in the middle. Oh my gosh. The man who came in the finale absolutely reinvented the thinking process for hundreds of people. I want you guys to welcome back to help us get this season start off right. The man himself, Batman, aka Jared Elkins, the legend. Jared, go ahead, wave at him real quick. There we go. There we go. Gentlemen, I want you guys to help me welcome. All right, Madness world premiere of a person who, if I said that this person was a legend in the making, that would be an absolute slap in the face to the level that they really, they not even the level that they sleep on, the level that they sleep on. To call that legendary status is a slap in the face. I just want you guys to open up your mind, open up your heart, and tonight, open up ears. Treat that we have with this tonight, the one that saves your way back to real quick. You guys, you know she's real. All right, you guys know that this isn't like we stole some footage from a Hollywood trailer or anything like that. This is actually her here. All right, you can request autographs and red carpet appearances later. But next, the person I want to introduce, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, oh my gosh. All right, look, there is no Midnight Madness with DMT without the D. All right, this man right here, I want you guys to just understand something. All right, I want you guys to understand something. A lot of you guys grew up and you watched cartoons, you seen movies, you heard legends, you heard fables, you heard the mythology. And if you follow mythology, you know, you Hercules movie that dropped this past summer. And before on the credibility of that movie, I had to come ask the guy that's Mr. Founder D from the center of aka Sir BGS. That man right there. Oh, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, your boy, social media hype man, aka Terrence A. Collins Jr., aka Mr. Inspired Mind. And our topic tonight, I just want you guys to understand something. Right? When I said that we had a next level, absolute next level show planned for you guys, the topic for tonight, I just had to rephrase it as best as I possibly could. All right? The quote is, "It is impossible to be conscious of being unconscious, you cannot be aware of not being aware. All right, think about that. It's you can't consciously process being unconscious, and if you're not aware, you're not able to be aware of being unaware, or are you? And tonight, that's what we're here to figure out and find out, and we're going to do this together. And the person that I'm going to let, come in and share their heart and their mind and their thoughts with all of us, as we let you guys listen in on this, is the person who said that, gave us the topic, and it's also just always amazing to be able to let the lady go first. You're muted
I'm
right
gonna
now. There you
thanks.
go.
I appreciate the introduction. I feel super special right now. And you know what? I came up with that based on some reading that I was doing. I do a lot of research on just random articles and documentaries and things I feel can expand my mind, because we all know that your mind is something very special. Once you've expanded it, it can never retract back to the way that it once was. And people don't realize that, yeah, you can be unconscious of being your greater self. You're already great. You're already great. It's all about manifesting that into your life, and it's really hard to do that when you yourself aren't aware that you are great. And we all can step back and take a look at who we've been and what we've done, and realize that it doesn't matter what happened in the past. All that matters is what we desire to be and how far we want to really get in this lifetime. Like, you can't. Oh, here's a great quote, man. This really touched base for me the other day. You can't change where your destination is overnight, but you could change where you're going overnight. So I can literally change what my outcome is in life today, this very second, based on my decisions and my thoughts. And I think that's a level of consciousness that you can choose to elevate at any point in time. Any point in time. That's magic right there. Like, you have the magic. No one has anything to say to my magic.
Everybody is just in awe. The woman is speaking, and polite, we all listen. But you're absolutely right. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Lao Tzu said it very well. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into awareness. You've got to elevate what you think about, not just that you think about it, but you have to actually challenge yourself and push yourself to make those changes. I mean, and there is an innate magical quality to doing that. You transform who you are, not just in the perspective of how you see yourself, but how the world around you sees you. Your friends, your family, the people who are close. When you start to really contemplate changing yourself and being aware of things that you were unaware of previously, you start to change the way you carry yourself. You start to change your body language. You start to change your attitude. You start to change, literally all the way down to the diction of how you pronunciate and enunciate your words when you speak. Things like maintained eye contact, elevated tone and pitch, descending tone and pitch, things like this. As you become more aware of how you impact people around you, you become a more effective motivator. You become a more effective speaker. You become a more effective leader. The key to this isn't, how many sales you make or how many dollars you put in your bank account or anything else. It really is about how you impact the world around you. And everybody says, that starts by looking at the man in the mirror. Well, yeah, but what does that really mean? That means looking inward at what you need to improve upon. Give an honest appraisal of yourself, and then start to push your mental introspections, digging deeper and deeper into places that you can improve upon. That's when you start to see change in the things that I'm talking about, the micro expressions on your face, the tone of voice, the diction with which you speak, how well you maintain eye contact. Those types of things are what you get when you invest in yourself. And people will start to see those changes and they'll follow you. And hopefully you'll have the presence of mind to explain to them that the journey begins by taking steps inward. And that is magic. To be able to walk inside of yourself, there's nothing more magical than that, in my mind anyway. So my thoughts on the matter.
Dude, and this was like listening to two Jedi Knights speaking. For real, lightsabers and all. My mind is blown right now. Obi-Wan, just take a seat. No, like that's the realest thing ever, and I think the magic is in perspective. Like how do you usually see not just yourself, but how do you see the world? But how do you see yourself in the world, and what is the role that you play? Like matter of fact, I do like these inspirational quotes every morning, or I'm getting back into it. But I had one that I said, what was it? Matter of fact, I got to go back to the source. What was it? Yeah, it was like the sun never sets on those intent to rise with it. Listen to that again. The sun never sets on those with intent to rise with it. So everybody usually has a set perspective when they even think. If you want to, just think about certain things, nature is probably the greatest teacher ever. A lot of people will usually say, the sun will set, but the sun will always set, but it'll always rise again. Basically saying, depending on your situation, it's not going to be sunny all the time. But if you hope and you do this and all that other type of stuff, the sun will always rise again. The sun is always shining anywhere and everywhere. The question is, do you see yourself as being able to be captivated by that light? Are you providing that light? Are you the person that is going to continue to provide that light, whether you are seen to be shining or not? Now, that can be in the mentality and in the eye of other people, or that can be within yourself. When you actually take that on yourself, then you're starting to understand the power you have within yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a new year. And, happy new year for all those people that I didn't say it to. And I'm going to keep saying it until the end of this freaking month. But don't look at a resolution as trying to determine how to reset yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that you guys have already heard, like I said, this is on some top-notch level stuff, Jedi mind tricks type of stuff. But for the people that are actually paying attention, thank you. That was hot. For the people that are actually paying attention, this is telling you that you've already had the ability within you to be able to just know where it is that you're going, know where it is that you've been. I like to say this a lot. Terrence already knows life is a series of evolutionary events. You learn from your past, plug it into your present to build a better future. Or you stay stuck in the past and remain primitive to your present situation. So I don't know where exactly I'm going with this, because these pills are awesome. And what it is that I heard before was awesome, but basically just saying, just to clarify the whole thought process of where it is that I thought I was going. Yeah, just, I don't know where I was going with this. Hey, just take this somewhere else, man.
And look, I feel you though. I feel you. He would. I felt where he was going with that, and I think that it is a mental decision. It is like a self-conscious decision to be like, I am going to still be my best, even when other people can't see that I'm being my best. And that it's so. It sounds so simple, but it's so complex. It really is. Oh, no one left. Terrence. Um, and I think that corresponds a lot with maybe we should stop being so selfish and prideful and egotistical and take on the fact that other people have lived life as well. It's okay to learn from other people. And me personally, I dealt with like growing up just being stubborn and not wanting to listen to what other people had to tell me. And you know what, like Stevenson, I don't know if he's on this call or not, but he was like, you live too short. Your life is way too short, and you should learn from other people while you can. Like, that is crazy, because that's true. People get to the end of their life and they feel like, man, where did it go? And you can make the conscious decision to be bigger and greater at like me, I'm 19, and people are always like, man, your mindset is way far beyond 19. I made that conscious decision to be this way. Anyone can make the conscious decision to be better than they were yesterday. It's your choice. That's magic. We're talking about magic tonight, man. That's why we're Jedis. I'm feeling you on that point. And that is my conclusion to what I had to say.
Yo, this is crazy because Sir BGS, bruh. Alright, I know where you are, and it's just like, man, like you're talking about magic, and people talk about manifestation and being Jedi, all those things, and it's like sometimes you ask, see, you the answer. The quick grips revealed sometimes, and Sir B just knows exactly what I'm talking about. Look, if you guys ain't been around, you ain't seen too many of these. I just want you guys to know my philosophy. A family that it's all right if people just move across the country and miss a couple, crucial weeks. It's all right. We love them anyway. But before I really get going, ladies and gentlemen, we are complete. The panel. On the far end, we got the D. On my end, we got the T. And right there in the middle, other side of the Marky T, founder of the top tier. Ladies and gentlemen, it gets no higher in life than the M and DMT. And you got to wait till I get done, bro. Hey. Man, but no, while we were talking, it's just crazy. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys are absolutely next level. It's just this, oh my goodness. Like, I'm surprised people are still breathing. If you're watching this, I don't care if you're watching it live, I don't care if you're watching the recording, like, you are not no regular person. If you survived that, I just want you guys to understand something, right? You are not no regular person.
Seisha.
Like, this is crazy because. Okay.
I was going to say, Seisha hit on a point that I don't want to lose. That you started to touch on, but you moved on. It's about making that choice now, and to really to be aware of the gravity of making that decision right now.
Mm-hmm.
This panel putting together what we do and what we bring when the collective mind space that we represent a truth, we represent a vibration, something to really help these people who are watching elevate themselves. You don't get that. It's like, there used to be a television show back in I think it was the 80s, early 90s, that focused entirely on the good news that happened during the day. It was before all the evening news started. It was like little Timmy's cat got saved out of the tree, and you know, and we signed this peace accord, and 10,000 troops were disarmed, and it was all good news. There was no bad news. It was all good news, and everybody was happy. And they'd always cut it out with, they'd close it out with somebody from public service, a police officer, firefighter, politician, whoever, just hamming it up with the people. And it was really light, and it was fun, and it was connecting everybody together in a positive vibe. That's kind of what I view this panel and this group as doing. And the reality is the people have to step out of what they've seen in the past and what they think is going to be the future on the current trajectory, because they have the ability to change that trajectory today, right now. I mean, the reality is it is right now. If you haven't made the choice, you have to make the choice right now. You know, there was a study at Harvard done where they said that people spend 50% of their time thinking about things from the past or thinking about things that are going to happen in the future. Well, if you're spending half of your conscious time thinking about things that you can't change or things that haven't happened yet, how effective can you possibly be? How much time is that wasted? How much mind space have you blown completely out of the water with useless tripe that you can do nothing with? It's dribble. It's psychological dribble. You can't do anything with it. I mean, it literally is as useless as the dribble out of a baby's mouth. You can't change the past, and you can't do anything with the future because it hasn't gotten here yet. The only thing you can do is make a decision right now. And if you're willing to make a decision right now, you can look inward. You can speak about what you saw when you looked inward. You can encourage others to look inward. You know, that's really what needs to happen, and what this panel, you know, Stacia, you and I talked about this at length. Terrence, you and I as well. You know, it's society as a whole has become so wrapped up in, well, what's in it for me? I get all that the world has gone to shit, but really, man, what's in it for me? Is it not enough that you get to be a good human being? I mean, you know, I get it. And to those of you who are here now, you've made that decision right now to improve yourself, to find that magic, to put a spark in your eye, a spring in your step. That's what people follow. You know, people wonder why everybody jumps in and out of opportunities and everybody leaves at the drop of a hat. Because you got them there by saying, look how much money you can make. Well, if they don't make that much money, it's like, piss off, man. I'm out the door. But if you've got a spring in your step, a positive message, you look inward on a regular basis and you're honest with yourself and you give that honest appraisal, people will follow you. They'll follow you to the earth.
Absolutely.
That's what these guys here, and what they bring to the table. Guys, you are in the presence of some of the most inspired minds in the game. You should really cherish that. You should hold on to that like it is the lifeline to your existence, because it is. That's the reality of it. You have two choices that you need to you have two distinct paths you can take right now. You can choose to look inward and give an honest appraisal of what's going on inside of you that you need to hone, that you need to improve, that you need to let go of, that you need to perfect, or you can continue the lie. March down the street, flashing cash, talking about dollars, posing in front of cars that you're never going to own. Meanwhile, you go to a 9-to-5 job where you're treated like a piece of shit, and you wait for that tax return so you got another stack of $100 bills you can fan out for your next YouTube clip. Guys, the choice is right now. What are you going to do right now? That's all I got.
always use it. And I mean, wow, you went back on it. Something you said your first time, and what you said now, and what comes to mind. It's just like, for all my football fans watching. All right, I'm right here in Columbus, Ohio. I stay just barely off campus. Like if I walk 2 blocks, it's considered the Ohio State University campus. All right, less than 15 minutes, I can be at the Horseshoe. Right. If you're a football fan, you understand that right now it's a beautiful time of year for us. You know, it's one of the most beautiful years we've had in a while. But what's so crazy about this is, and I posted it on my Facebook wall, and it was absolutely crazy on topic about everything that everybody spoke has already said. And hold on, I'm going to it right now. I'm gonna read this, for you guys. And I mean, this is how I feel as a biased fan, but this is Nike. Nike produces 100% of Oregon's attire, right? OSU just beat Oregon. And so you're talking about one of their largest backers. This is what they had to say. So they called you lucky. They called you undeserving. They called your confidence weak and your team untested. They called the other teams a dynasty, the favorite, and unbeatable. They called your ranking disputable and surprising. They called you a fourth seed, if that. They called you and call you something else. And it's a picture of OSU's marching band spelling out the word champions. All right? Spelling out the word champions. So it doesn't matter to say about you what your track record is. It doesn't matter what you've proven. It doesn't matter any of that. The rookie of the year, think about that. They're a rookie, right? They're a rookie. Their track record doesn't show anything. They're a rookie. I want you guys to understand something. OSU won the Big Ten championship, the semifinal against the most impossible program to beat, which is Alabama. And then they went to go play Oregon, who's simply unstoppable, and they smashed the team that was supposed to have the quarterback that is simply a god, you know? And they absolutely destroyed them. And if I would have told you on the end of last season that in between seasons of Midnight Madness, OSU was going to go out there and have almost double digits in turnovers and be considered national champs, you would say I'm crazy. You would have said that they're probably going to have double digit turnovers because they're down to their third string quarterback. Right? The first string hurt, injured, didn't play all year. You guys lost to Virginia Tech with your second string quarterback. What are you going to do? But this is the thing. This goes back to what Jared said. And one of those simple things, because look, before those games, before that third string quarterback was in, do you think they had any awareness of how that quarterback was in games? No. No. It's impossible. It's impossible for them to know how their quarterback was in games. But you know what the coach did? And as Mark says all the time, I want everybody to realize you're always a mentor and an apprentice to somebody, right? And so when you're in that mentor role, you're in that coach's role, what did the coach do? The coach went back and he watched the film. You think if he knew his running back could put up 250 yards a game here, brought it back to a 1-point game, what did the coach do? He stopped passing the ball and he started handing the ball off. But when in their one loss this year, what did he do? He kept passing, right? He kept passing. If the coach made that decision to keep passing, It wouldn't have happened that way. And I want you guys to think about that. You see, what happened was Urban Meyer made up in his mind that he wanted to win. When they lost, he didn't say that the national championship hopes were over. He never decided that. He never decided that. Hey Jared, we see you throwing them signals up. Get to the game next year. I love you, bro. But the quarterback went down in the game, and all OSU fans are freaking out.
I'm,
What are
s-
we going to do?
I'm still a little sore.
Yeah.
I'm a little tired. Next year. Next year.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. All right, we probably have 3 more quarterbacks that can go out there and get it done. But when TJ Barrett went down, every OSU fan is freaking. Players are freaking. Coaches are freaking. And Urban Meyer never freaked out. That game was still losable. He never freaked out. He made up in his mind, we're going to get through this game, and we're out of here. And they asked him, what he was going to do. Did this affect his postseason hopes and all this stuff? He kept a straight face. It's like, look, I'm happy we made it out of here. We're going to go back. We're going to review the film. We're going to get to work. And we're going to come out here as prepared as we can for the next game. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. But the entire game plan changed. Why? Because the coach had this conviction to win, and he decided, instead of just pushing forward, just trying to go 150 miles per hour, to try and push through those barriers, he stopped. And like Jared keeps saying, look within, he watched the film. And when he watched the film, he started to see what else he had. Right? The defense. If the defense played games in the first 3 games of the season, OSU would be undefeated. Guess what happened? We don't have our top 2 quarterbacks. Something's got to change. We got to watch the film. And all of a sudden, OSU's defense is coming out. And, Alabama was number 1 in third down conversion percentage. And they couldn't convert on third downs. If you look at the stats from the Oregon game, it looks like it was a pretty good game, except for they couldn't convert on third downs. You know what else those other teams couldn't do? They couldn't score in the red zone. Right? You're not going to stop everything from happening, but that doesn't mean you have to roll over and die, Likewise, barriers are going to come up, barriers are going to happen, but that doesn't mean that you just have to accept those. Or that doesn't mean that you have to fight. That doesn't mean that you have to feel like, you're ever in it by yourself. Maybe sometimes the problem is myself. And if I don't stop to look at my track record, to see what I've been doing, to see what my team's been doing, to see what my star players have been doing, my role players have been doing, to see what the people around me have been doing, no way I'm going to go out here. If you look at Miami Heat coming together, they were losing games at one point. They were in tears, and they had to stop, and they had to watch the film, right? You look at, at baseball. Theoretically, the Yankees should be in the World Series every year, but they're so busy going, willing, and dealing, and then you get teams that come out of nowhere. And what do? They lower payrolls, but they win. Why? Because they spend more time watching the film, looking at their shortcomings, not patting themselves on the back for the things they think that they did right. They want to find out what they can't do and work on those. They want to find out where they're falling short so they can start to reach higher. Right? I have to be honest with myself. Right? I am where I am today 100% based on my thoughts, my actions, and my decisions of the past. And if I am who I think I am, claiming to be, say I am, or pretend to be, that means that I need to be working at finding out what I don't know. And Jared talks about it. A lot of people walk around quoting the same couple people with personal development. But it's a huge difference between a principle and a discipline. And I can quote Zig Ziglar all day long. But if I can't make Zig Ziglar applicable to me, and most importantly, those around me, there's a problem. And I can't ever think I've done so much personal development, I'm untouchable. Why? Because now I've started to put ceilings on myself. I don't need to be compared to markers. I was talking with Mark the other day, and somebody compared me, to one. This is what they really do, right? You, they make all this money teaching and training marketing, but they don't really teach and train anything. If you spend $50,000 with them and they only get 5% value, you're gonna spend $50,000 to learn how to be a better marketer, and you're gonna get $2,500 worth of value. And guess what? They're really good at what they do. I don't knock their hustle. Don't compare me to that person. I like to bring value where I'm at. They compared me to somebody else, and I really got mad. And if you knew who those two people were, you would think I'm absolutely crazy. But when I said what I said, it made absolute sense. Don't put me in a box. You're not going to put food on my table. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to pay my bills. You can't. There's nothing you can do for me, right? You can't change my past. Where I'm living today is based on my thoughts, my actions, and my decisions of the past. My income today based on my thoughts, actions, and decisions of the past. And if I want that's all I got, I'm gonna pass it back over to Mark. Let him come in.
Yeah, that's actually
I'm
perfect timing
telling
because my
everybody I'm hopping bombster.
what's going on, everybody? That was actually pretty dope and good timing because I just hit 10%. I'm about to die real quick. I need to go get my charger, but man, yo, it's good to be back. It's good to see y'all. D, what's good? Jared, Sasha, what's up? Terrence, what's up, everybody? Salute. Tonight is a dope topic. Let me step two times real quick. We're talking about what really hit me was actually when y'all was talking about the power of now. We can't change our past. We can't really change our future. Or actually, we can change our future. That's a lie, obviously, because what we do now directly affects our future. But a lot of people spend. I've done this in the past, and something I had to realize. A lot of people spend a lot of time talking, right? Talking about what they're going to, or they're in the planning process. They're in the production phase. I'm planning on doing this. I'm planning on doing that. You should spend less time talking about it because you want to put it into existence. You want to transfer it from first it's a thought, right? But you want to bring it out here into this physical world, but you're wasting your energy and bringing it into this physical world through your mouth. When really you could save that energy and put it into action and just do it and not say shit about it. Don't talk about it unless you're talking about what you're doing. Not don't talk about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Don't start talking about it unless you're talking about what you're doing, because otherwise you're just wasting that energy when you could be using that energy that you're talking about and be using it for action instead and be actually doing what you want to be talking about. It would save you a huge hassle. And it was crazy how Jared was talking about, just getting it done now. If you have a thought that comes up in your head, don't talk about it. Don't think about it no more. The only way to use that potential energy is to actually do it right now. Don't wait till later, because when it's later, that moment is gone. It may be too late. You may have missed that train. You may have missed that window of opportunity. You may have wasted your energy talking about it, and it's gone. It ain't gonna happen no more. And I'd be sad because you just got some type of intuition. God could have been talking to you directly saying, hey, Mark, hey, whatever your name is right now, I got an idea for you. You should go do this right now, and you be thinking about it. You be like, yeah, maybe I should do that now. Hey, Terrence, you think I should go do this? Hey, what's your idea about this? I'm wasting way too much energy because I could have used all that energy and already got that shit done by now. I could have already had it done and then started talking about what has been done. So it's like when he was talking about the power of now, ain't nothing more powerful than right now because we can't change the past. and we can change tomorrow. So you should treat tomorrow, or you should treat this moment right now like it's threatening your tomorrow. Straight up. You should treat this. I gotta say that again. I gotta write this down. Hold on. Let me get a piece of. Let me get a pen. I gotta write this down. I gotta say this. You should treat tomorrow. You should treat today like it's threatening your tomorrow. I gotta write that down. I never
You
said that
son of a
before.
bitch.
I never said that before. Hey, yo, but that's real because now may be the only moment in time that we do have. We may not have tomorrow. Tomorrow may be threatened. You know, people will be like, "Oh, what if you had a gun to your head,
I don't think,
and if you don't do this by tomorrow, it ain't gonna get done."
Mark Anthony, I don't
But
think maybe to it. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think your today absolutely threatens your tomorrow. That's the whole point.
mm,
Your yesterday threatens today, going on that same thought. You get caught up in
mm,
yesterday, you lose today, eliminating tomorrow. How you like that?
dang.
How you like that, Mark?
that
Focusing on tomorrow.
was that was fireworks coming out the water.
I'm telling you, man. This is what I'm talking about. Terrence, tell me I'm wrong. That you get the group of us together and it grows. We feed on each other and it's a Fibonacci spiral getting bigger and bigger and bigger
Oh,
and bigger and bigger. I mean, it's like, he says your today threatens your tomorrow. Well, I think actually if we think it through, focusing on tomorrow threatens today, which will eliminate your tomorrow.
mm, circle of life, straight up.
Fibonacci was onto it, man. Bigger and bigger and bigger. It's good stuff. But you talked about, Mark. You gave me a thought, and I almost lost it. You said, God may be speaking to you, and hey, I think you should do this now. I think you should do this now. Hey, Terrence, what do you think about that? And there's a difference between an entrepreneur and a small business owner. And a lot of people in our space, they say, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Da, 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 da. So because I'm an entrepreneur, you know a good system? Do you know a good system that the markets respond? That's not an entrepreneur. Not by any definition ever written down. That's a small business owner. You're responding to the marketplace. An entrepreneur is a visionary, somebody who creates, doesn't follow a trend.
Creates a marketplace.
They create their marketplace, exactly. Now, the
Ooh.
number one pitfall that pulls an entrepreneur out of entrepreneurialism and into small business ownership is going around and collecting people. What do you think about this? Hey, man, why don't you come on board? Hey, what do you think about this? Why don't you come on board? Hey, why don't you think about this? Why don't you come on board? Well, at the end of the day, what you've done is created a management job for yourself. Now you're a small business owner. You've got 20 people that you've got to manage for your vision that God gave you.
Mm.
Because, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. God didn't go to the 20 of you and say,
Oh, man.
He dropped it on you. He gave it to you. And so, he gave it to you for a reason. Because you are ready right now. Not you're ready tomorrow. Not you were ready last week. But you're ready right now. You are ready. So, if the muse descends and says, you, don't call up your buddy and say, hey, man, what do you think? Hey, man, let's go for this. That's not where it is. That's not where it is. You need to look inside of you, make a decision to be a man or a woman of action. And when that hits, when that lightning bolt strikes, when that gun goes off, you fly out of those blocks and you run as hard and as fast as you can. And you're not going to know if you're running from something or towards something. You're running so hard. You don't know why you're running so hard. You're just running that hard. When you're that convicted and you're that bold, that's when you're going to win.
That's real.
That's what it takes. You want to know what it takes to be OSU? You want to know what it takes to be a dynasty? You want to know what it takes to be a legacy, what it takes to be a legend? Knowing you are. And legends and dynasties are not built on mediocrity. They're built on bold convictions and dedications to excellence. That is the difference between a champion and a player. That is the difference between a player and a failure. The level of commitment to excellence.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Like that right there, I think people in society are so caught up in trying to be like everybody else that they begin to hinder their greatness. I could quote some I could quote some Les Brown right here if I wanted to. That would basically just take that whole thing, but it's already evident. Like, what's an eagle born to do? An eagle is born to fly. It gets pushed out of the nest by the mother. Either that bird is going to fly or it's not going to. If that eagle don't flap them wings, it's not going to fly. And when I say not going to fly, I mean it's not going to survive. And I think the attitude, like most of us seem to take, is we think if we jump out, we need to try and be like every other person. And being like every other person is usually just being another level of mediocre. That's just me. That's just how I see certain things sometimes, because people get stuck in being scared of doing something that they were already born to do. I say this on a regular basis. Every single person has been born with some level of genius.
Oh.
Point blank, period. There is a genius in every single person, meaning that there is a go-getter in every single person, meaning that there is a level of successful person, just immaculate conception in that person before they recognized it. But some people don't even understand that they're worth that, because they get too caught up in society telling them that they're not. Now, the most successful people that you see, like I'm not even going to front. I know every single person on this panel right now, anybody that's watching this right now, every single person on this panel, I guarantee you're going to be reading about somebody. One of these people, actually every single one of these people, you're going to be reading about, hearing about, talking about in the next 5 to 10 years. Because number one, every single person on here has a thought process that goes beyond what the norm of society would allow them to have. And usually these type of people with these type of thought processes would be considered strange. But when was the last time you've seen someone that was considered quote unquote normal change the scope of history as you know it? I'll wait. I didn't think so. So the people that you see, if you want to do like you heard them saying, take action now. And I don't care how strange you may think your plan, your goal, whatever it is, how off the wall it is, just do it. And my man said, don't call somebody up. Jared said, don't call anybody up. If that thought process was dropped on you, if it was inspired, if something from a higher level dropped an idea, concept on you, you take it and run. And if you have to call somebody, make sure that the person that you're calling has the skills necessary to take your idea to the next level. It's not one of these, hey, what do you think about this? No, it's, hey, I know you're good at this, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to take this aspect of this, and we're going to run, and we're going to take over the world. That's what it is.
That's hot.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So for every person that is watching this, like I said, every person that is watching this, you are born with a level of genius, whether you know it or not. So you need to take your aspect of genius, write that stuff down, whatever goals that you have, whatever it is that you want to do. I suggest you write it down. Start making things happen. I don't care how strange, how crazy, how weird, how off the wall it may seem. I suggest you do it. Just do it. Watch what happens. Because I'm going to say this too. It's not just the people on this panel that you guys are listening to that you're going to be reading about. But I guarantee you there's going to be one person, at least one person that has been watching this thing live right now that is going to take these ideas, these concepts, and all these nuggets that have been dropped. We might be reading about you in the next 5 to 10 years. That's all I got.
You know,
Absolutely.
Boom. Everyone's just blown right
The
now.
I know
entrepreneur.
y'all are something else, bro.
the
Mark actually turned me on to, right?
Turn you on. This dude's wet over here.
But you already know. But, you know, they were talking about the difference between the world class, right? There's 3 different classes. So the world class is obviously the most well off. The lower class is the second most well off class. The middle class, there's no help for them. They're the most disillusioned group of people to ever exist on the planet.
oh, I love
Right? And it wasn't talking about income though. He said it's about your mind. World class mindsets, right? The lower class mindsets and the middle class mindsets. He says now, although I'm not talking about finances, what I can tell you is around 95+% of each one of those mindsets belong to that same economic breakdown as well. The money followed their mindset, right? Now, the world class creates, the middle class competes. The middle class are disillusioned because they think that they're going somewhere because they beat their neighbor to the same parking spot at the same employment. Whereas world class is created in the first place.
I got a question. Something just hit me. Tell me what you think, guys. I want to hear back from all of you. What would you think if I told you the world-class mindset was absolutely no different than the bottom end, the impoverished socioeconomic set?
I would agree with you. I will not combat that statement, right? And that some of you guys who have seen some of my rants and some of my stuff, you might be like, I can't believe social media hype man is agreeing with that statement. But what I will tell you is I believe that there's 2 ends of every spectrum, right?
No. Wait, whoa. You're measuring in dollars. We're talking mindset. We're talking mindset.
I'm talking mindset.
All right,
I'm talking.
We're staying on the same page.
No, I'm talking mindset because for me, you know, there's 2 ends of the spectrum. For me, I want to compare this to a light switch, right?
All right.
If I hit the light switch one direction, the light's on. If I hit the light switch the other direction, the light's off, right? The same exact for me. There's no difference, and except for the direction I flipped it, right? The same effort, the same energy, same thought process, But when the light switches in the middle, what does the light blink? Does it turn into a strobe light? No, it doesn't.
But here's
It doesn't.
the point,
You
though.
know?
You take the light switch, you get a screwdriver out, and you take the light switch out of the wall and you flip it over the other direction. You've actually changed nothing. Nothing is different in this equation. You're still going from one side to the other. Positive cash flow, negative cash flow. The two groups of society in your three-group model that understand the concept of cash flow better than anybody else are the impoverished, who are absolutely counting every single penny because they have to, and the world class who count every penny because they need to maintain their wealth discipline. But they both count the same penny. Different reason. But they both engage in the action of flipping that light switch.
That's true. That's true. That's fresh. Like that's fresh.
That's fresh. That's
No,
crazy.
no, for real. That's fresh. I've actually started to notice that the people that don't have it, when they get it, they try and do everything that they can to either like save up or utilize what it is that they have to put it towards something for necessity. The wealthy will get they'll I'm never actually seen a rich person that didn't want to try and get more. And it was to stay at that level of wealth that they were at, if not to get to another level of wealth.
Well, but you have to understand something. The world class understands something that we teach over in traffic economics that the other two classes haven't embraced. You can trade time for dollars to pay bills, survive, but the reality is the determination to survive a day, that's no different. I mean, it is exactly the same determination that's required to survive any moment in that day. It's the same level of commitment to survival at the level of I'm going to pay this bill or I'm going to buy back my time. The question is the amount of people and the dedication and excellence in that discipline that creates a dynasty versus sub-player, the loser, the one who doesn't get it at all. Now, the people on the very bottom end of the spectrum have this insane desire to live. It actually goes to Maslow. The first primal instinct is to not die. So you're in the business of not dying. You're in the business of getting food, getting water, getting shelter, getting that taken care of. And our children are being indoctrinated to go to school, go to college, go get the job, and work for somebody else, make money, buy food, buy shelter, buy this, buy that. And who tells them what to buy? The world class who understands the idea of leveraging money for time, so they have the freedom to create more. If you have the time to invest mind share in creation, you can build the next revenue stream. You can build the next cash flow stream. And that is where wealth comes in, because wealth is not about measuring. It's not about measuring dollars. It's about measuring time. It's measured in days, not dollars. So that I'm really big on saying it's not about how much money is in your bank account. It's how many days you can go without trading time for dollars, going and punching someone's clock, and you can pay a bill. That's the difference here. In reality, what we're looking at is counting pennies and the discipline to maintain pennies is part of survival on opposite ends of the extreme, right? So basically, if you take it all and look at the whole picture, you're saying to yourself, I have to watch my pennies. If you're on this side, it's so I can go buy groceries. If you're on this side, it's so I have time to think about what groceries I'm going to put on the shelf for the other guy to go buy. That's the difference. So if we know that we can trade time for dollars or dollars for time simply by turning the light switch over in the wall, that's the message we want to be delivering. You can trade time for dollars and turn and move the power to an on or off state respective to what it was prior to your action. But it doesn't matter. It's about the perspective of that wall plate. Is up on or is down on? Are you pushing money up into the system or are you pulling money out of the system? But how you position your wall switch will determine whether you're trading time for dollars or dollars for time.
Get the bongos off that one.
That the bong goes off that one. That corresponds back to the whole decision making. Like, now you can decide to be someone who's going on that course. Like, I don't want to trade my time for money anymore. I'd rather do the opposite, trade my money for time. And it's not ever going to happen if you could just continue to do the same thing you've been doing. You got to reach out, expand your mind more, and make different decisions. Same actions get same outcomes. And man, it's just a decision. The magic, man. The magic. It is a fat decision. And now that we know this fact, Jared, thank you for telling everyone that, because you are now accountable for what you know. And I feel so accountable right now. I feel incumbent, and like I'm destined to be more than the norm, be more than what society has told me to be, which would be a slave to giving away my time, always trying to figure out how to survive. It's messed up. And we can all be bigger and better than that.
Of course.
We want to know what is really holding people back? Man, people need to make the decision to quit, pay attention to the media and what's going on the screen. Because the way that our minds work, that's messed up. That people don't know how it works. Because we don't understand that what we take in, like the images that we take in turns affects what actions we distribute to the world around us. So whatever you're doing is not so much a product of what you want to do all the time. It's more so a product of what you have programmed yourself to do. And we're programming ourselves constantly. We're always, like your mental factory, your mind, it's always taking in what your environment is putting out. So if you're watching TV and what?
Who's driving that?
What?
Who's driving that message?
Who's driving the message? The people driving the message, you're talking as far as media, right?
I am.
The media is being controlled by the people that we trust in, and the people we trust and run our whole system. The same
world
people
class, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's paying attention.
Same people who are controlling what food goes on the shelves. Pretty fucking much.
But here's the thing. With what we're doing, I mean, have we not created a television station?
We have. And this is what people should tune into instead. I was just thinking in my head, like, if someone would take out the couple hours that they watch TV and replace it with something like this, then our society would grow at a much more peaceful and intelligent rate. Like, people would realize that it's not about the money, man. It's not about the money. It's about the time. People are important. We have to interact with each other and grow with each other to get to the next level. And we're deteriorating. We're constantly going down. And it's because we're not working together to go up.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it's like everything we invest, everything that we do is an investment. Everything. Everything that we do is an investment. And I'm talking about in what you watch, what you listen to, what you eat, what you wear, whatever it is that you do is classifies as an investment. What are you investing your time in is the thing. Are you investing in yourself? Are you investing in developing yourself, or basically reach like dumbing yourself down? Because if we want to talk about the world class actually, let me put it like this: the negative aspects, the negative world class, those negative world classmen, they basically gain their wealth on your investment in the level of stupidity they continue to put out. And one of the funniest things that continues to drive us in more of a hole is the fact that we can't see that. Or should I say we see it, but we get so comfortable in our level of ignorance that we begin to become so comfortable in it that we don't want to sometimes. That's what it's funny. Like in some communities, you will actually have people that will work harder to keep you down than to build you up. You notice that. But you have some communities where it doesn't matter as long as you're in that community. If you're in that community, they will continue to lift you up just for the fact that you are in that community. What exactly are they investing their time and their mind in that community as compared to what's being invested in the other? It's like we invest our time in everything. What we put in here, what we learn, what we hear, what we listen to. Like this stuff that people are watching right now, if they're watching this right now, it's expanding their mind rather than retracting from all this other garbage that they see on a regular basis, because it is not built to expand their mind. It is built to continue to retract it, because the minute they begin to expand their mind, the minute people begin to expand their mind, the minute they actually begin to realize who they are. So,
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. We talk about investment. And of course, there are all types of investment that you can make. Of course, there's mental investments, there's emotional investments, there's monetary investments. I touched on trading time for dollars or dollars for time. And the people who are around the message that we're driving, those of us, and we branded it out to traffic tsunami, and there's a whole world of a new train of thought that we're pushing here. Flipping that light switch, changing the direction of the wall plate, leveraging capital to buy back our time, starting at $1 a day, $2 a day. It's a discipline. You're not going to be Warren Buffett going and buying multi-million-dollar companies to put in your back pocket, because nobody I know has $40 billion in their back pocket. But what we do have is an entire marketplace of cash flow driven opportunities that range from 20 cents a day to $7 a day, well within the range of the very bottom class of the socioeconomic ladder, and they understand the principle of counting pennies. It's not a stretch for us to educate those people. So if you're working 3 29-hour-a-week, 9 to 5 jobs, working between all 3 of the shifts for minimum wage so you can put food on the table, I'm talking to you. There's a better way. But it starts right now with a decision right now. Are you willing to open your mind enough to recognize that the system is built to keep you showing up at those 3 jobs to support the people who decide to put product XYZ on the shelf tomorrow? They made a decision right now to change the label on Count Chocula because they determined that the cartoon vampire was not in vogue enough for Count Chocula. And they wanted to make more money selling Count Chocula. So they changed the box from the brown to the white with brown accents. So it wasn't so dark on the shelf. It popped so they could sell more. But I guarantee you the marketing director didn't call up his next door neighbor and said, hey, I got this idea for a box and I think I'm going to do it. I guarantee you he didn't call his Aunt Jenny and say, when was the last time you thought about the color of the box of Count Chocula? That isn't what he did. He sat down at his desk and didn't say a word to anybody, and he wrote a proposal. And he kicked that proposal up to the senior executive vice president, who said, I'm going to give you $5,000 for focus group testing. And he put it out. He put it out there. And that's when Count Chocula's box changed. Put it in one market, then 3, then 5, in that Fibonacci spiral of economics that I was talking about. That's how it's done at that level. You know, you gotta get on board with the idea of you're a genius, you're exceptional, you are a prodigy, you are something special. And if you can't get on board with that, you're going to continue your path of these 9-to-5 jobs. You're going to keep going down that road. You're never going to find the magic of the awareness. You're never going to find the magic of putting a spark in your eye that people can believe in, that people will follow. You're never going to get there until you start asking the big question. Why? What is the motivation for the world class who picks the box color of Count Chocula to change the box color of Count Chocula? Because I promise you, it's not about anything more than increasing cash flow. What is the driving force? What is the driving focus? What is it that makes them different from you? Well, I'm going to tell you straight up. The difference between them and you, they've already looked internally and made a decision, and they're right now. They've already made that choice. So you need to make that choice. Because your box of Count Chocula, still brown.
Yo, I absolutely love like, man, Seisha, wow. Like, if you guys never seen the movie Inception, then I just want you guys to know that that basically is what happens every time somebody speaks here. If you don't find that with your circle of friends or your mentor or your upline, the people on your team, and you're in the wrong place. I'm just, just keeping it 100% real. And, man, because she said that, what is where she said accountability. Now you're accountable, and now you're responsible. But with this awareness, you can start to help the accountability around you. And it comes back to a simple phrase, wrapped up in a nutshell. And I believe this in my heart about people, that if they knew better, they would do better. But watching this right here, now that you know better, it's time to grow better. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. I said this on the call this past week. It wasn't one of my recorded ones. You know, I give out way too much value. And not everybody deserves it. They don't put themselves in winning position. If you're not going, just because the tent on a box of Count Chocolate changed doesn't mean I need to start spoon feeding you. You better go get a bowl. You better get a spoon, and I hope you got some milk. I hope you got some milk. Look, I got all the Count Chocolate you need.
If you want it bad enough, you'll eat the Count Chocolate dry. If you want it bad enough, you'll eat it dry. If you don't have a spoon, grab it with your fist. I know every one of you has sat on the couch with a box of Cookie Crisp, Count Chocolate, or Cocoa Puffs and watched cartoons. Don't even lie. Don't even lie. I know you. I know you.
See, you would have got me if you would have seen a box of honey buns and a 2-liter orange soda. We ain't got no time to grab no.
I wasn't gonna.
We ain't got no time to
you just gave yourself. I was gonna save you that humiliation. I really was.
What? Humiliation? Yeah, right. That
No
look.
wonder you're
what
not
I
diabetic. Oh my God! This man like mainlines honey bun. He puts it in the food processor with orange soda and just taps the vein. I mean, he doesn't even eat the shit. He just, I mean, seriously. He's got like a whole medical rig by his couch. He's got his laptop in one side. He's got his phone in the other, in the main line of honey bun, orange soda IV. That's parents.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, but what he just told you, look, the most profound thing you ever heard in your life is Jared just said. Grab the orange soda and the honey buns. All right? Grab the orange soda and the honey buns.
No, what I said was hide your honey buns and hide your orange soda. That's what I said. Because T is coming. T is coming. He's got the blender. He's got the needles. He's got the tubing. I'm telling you, he's going to hook you up. He's going to plug you into the matrix and you're done. Then you don't get to be the right now. You're just a battery. That's all you are. You're a battery. That's it. Do you want to go
balance it out? I
matrix?
go get my Subway. I get my Subway. The Subway's in the gas station. Where do you think I get my honey buns and orange soda from? One Stop Shop. You know, that One Stop Shop. I'm trying to tell you something.
That's economic of time, man. You got to consolidate. It's important. Organization, consolidation. It's good work, man. Well done.
Exactly.
I said time.
Exactly.
Time.
I mean,
what is time? What is time?
Yeah, I've got to support them. I've got to support it when I see discipline at work. You know, I encourage it. I got to support it, right? And then they're saving me time, right, which allows me to have more dollars. It's beautiful.
It worked, and on top of that, it tastes good.
Exactly. But more important than that,
So
when that combination comes together, lives change in a miraculous way. Lives change.
Is that the iced honey bun? Is that like the Hostess honey bun with the white icing?
No. You don't get the icing on it. The white icing. No.
I'm asking because I mean it seemed like that'd be a little thick.
Look,
on top of like soda. You don't want to, you know, it's like too much sugar, you know. And
that's like no.
Diabetic. I get it now. I didn't figure it out.
No, that's not even it. What it's like is it's like going back, watching Michael Jordan's greatest games and putting an afro on Michael Jordan. And it's just, come on, just because you put better.
Why would I put an afro on Michael Jordan?
Why would you put white icing on a honey bun? I don't know.
I get it. You know, Michael Jordan made the head shave popular. Why would you put an afro on him? I get it. I see, and that's where so many people go wrong and wind up diabetic, because they put the afro on Michael Jordan. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So stop putting the afro on Michael Jordan, and diabetes will go away. Got it.
Essential.
This is us solving world problems. This is how it works.
All right. If everyone wants to solve these world problems, that's what we got to do. We gotta educate people on how their mind works. So,
Better with honey buns.
honey
I'm
bun.
going to go with Count Chocula. I'm sorry. I think throwing Count Chocula at people's going to solve the world problems. I think it's going to disarm everybody. And
There, everybody knows you eat 3 meals a day. You eat your first half of sub, right? You got your second half of your Subway sub, and you got honey buns.
I work at Subway. Don't eat Subway.
Truth!
I'm so serious right now.
Yo, that killed me.
Told me dying, didn't you?
Dog, that killed me. Like I was not expecting that whatsoever. I was about to be hungry. The minute she said she works at Subway, I was like, now I want a sub. And then she said, don't eat it. My whole life is
Throw him a
changed.
honey bun. Terrence, throw the man a honey bun.
Please. Yo, just whip it to the side, bro. I'll catch that one.
He's on the other side, bro. Don't need to turn around. He's on the other side. There you go.
Oh, come on, bro. Come on.
He lied to you, man. He lied to you. The Subway corporate might come after me. If I disappear in the next like 24 hours, it's because of this conversation.
I honestly don't
Hey,
think.
hey,
don't
but,
think
but you know what?
Illuminati is it.
We'll blame Jared. We'll blame Jared. We got problems at Subway. We'll just blame Jared.
I'm Jared. Hello. I'm Jared. You don't recognize me because I've lost so much weight. I'm Jared. We can do this because I'm Jared.
No, you went on. You lost 400 pounds. I was listening to the commercial the other day. You lost 400 pounds with exercise and eating Subway subs, but then in really fast, like quick talk at the end of the commercial, they're like, Subway subs are not a diet. You must talk to your doctor after. talk to your doctor if you want to form. Yeah, like they're so full of crap, man. Our food is not great. Don't eat it.
Hey, but you know what? You know what? I'm not, obese by any means, and they still make some world-class subs, so I'm about to go get that $5.75 holler because the extra 75 cents, completely changes everything.
I can. Hey, with 75 cents a day, I can do. You give me 75 cents a day, and I'll retire you in 5 years. And you can hold me accountable to that, T.
Boom.
Sean, I'm about to look for some change right now.
Dive into the couch. It's in the couch.
It's in the
No, it's not. No, it's not, because they spent that on the FM.
No. He actually bought a honey.
Hold on, hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, it's your boy, social media hype man, aka Terrence Unkowns Jr., aka Mr. Inspired Mind. As you can see, we're back in full effect. The party's going. Look, we give you guys life-changing nuggets, but if you guys want to catch all this extra credit value right here, you're going to have to pay me. I'm just messing with y'all. But make sure you guys tune in for the rest of the season.